prove that you have.
Yeah, and also you get experience with it. So, it helps, you can develop it and make it better over the years if you start earlier.
Absolutely. Model UN, people skills, collaboration, conflict. Running an NGO taught me how to leader. I don't know, it gave me more insight in how to work things, how to create detailed and organized for amounts of time. And again, these are skills you can translate very directly into your college essay, where you say things like, oh, I worked on XYZ and that honed in my skill for ABC. And they'll be like, oh yeah, checks out. The two are pretty similar. So that's okay. So yeah, definitely work on extracurriculars.
Yeah, and also somebody has asked, what happens if you take the PSAT before 11th?
So most people, I think, took the PSAT before 11th. I have most of my friends took it in whatever, from between 8th to 10th grade. Nothing happens. It will not actually, you will not get any benefit in terms of a scholarship. All it will give you is it'll give your kid practice. That's it. If you're looking to get them practice in an environment where they take the SAT, that's the only benefit. But you cannot apply for any scholarships using it. You cannot, that score is null. It does not matter. It's just practice. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And somebody's asked, while picking colleges to apply to, is there anything someone should look out for in particular?
Okay, I think this is very personalized. I think if you're interested in a certain department, definitely research that department. Research the kinds of professors there, the research they're doing, the classes they're having. So I'd say that there's multiple different buckets that you should look out for. One is the academic environment, and things like how competitive is it, and are you good under stress? Like how do you perform under stress? How stressful is it? Another thing is the social life and culture, which is something that's really important. Are you the kind of person that, and be brutally honest with yourself. Don't think about it and be like, oh, I can't say I like parties because then my parents are going to think that's weird. Like if you enjoy a vibrant social scene, that is okay. Look for schools with a vibrant social scene then, because you're going to be miserable in a school that has a low social scene then. Look at things like location, if that's important to you. Are you the kind of person that craves being around a city, or are you okay being in the suburbs? Are you okay being far removed from that, where it'll take like an hour to get there? So that's like location, social scene, academics, I think are the three most important things that you should look for when you're applying. And I think it is important for the student or the kid to make that decision and like sit down and be like, okay, this is important to me and this is something that I want to factor in. And then apply. I think I said this in a previous slide, but even your safeties, you have to apply to schools you can actually see yourself going to, because you don't know what's going to happen in the process. You don't know, like the college application process is completely unpredictable. I have friends that I was sure would get into Ivy Leagues that did not and got rejected for most of their schools and had to go to a safety. And I also have friends that absolutely did not think they would end up at a top whatever 10 school and are now at a top like 5 school. So it's absolutely unpredictable, which means that every single college on your list has to be a college that you can actually see yourself going to and see yourself being at least, I'm going to say 75% happy at that institution. Like you cannot, because you don't want to be stuck in an environment for 4 years that you're miserable
in. Yeah, totally. Like, you have to keep in mind that you might potentially be going there. So, make your decision based on that. And also related to that question, somebody's asked, how do you let your personal choice guide you when there is so much pressure from relatives or friends to get into an Ivy League college?
Okay, so I think this is something that everybody wants to be like, oh yeah, my kid got into a top school in the US or the UK or wherever. And that's great, but I think it's really important. And at the end of the day, you're not applying to college or getting into college for your cousins, for your aunts, for your uncles, for your grandparents. You're getting in for you. So I would say let your personal decision guide you. Like End of the day, those 4 years are going to be spent by you in that institution. Your relatives are not going to be living vicariously through you. So you need to do what makes you happy and be in an environment that makes you happy. And I think this is something that I know external pressure is just so much and so hard, not just from relatives, but from friends, from teachers, where you're like, oh, I'm applying to this school. Oh, really? And then you're like, should I be applying to that school? That's okay. If it wasn't something that you wanted to apply to, it's probably not someplace you should apply to. And that is okay.
Yes, definitely. There is a lot of pressure, especially like it's almost like ranking. If I get into a higher rank college than this person, then I am somehow better than, I'm like a better person, I'm smarter than you. It's like, it's not like that. Do not equate the rank of the college to your self-worth. I think
those
that
things
is really
stop mattering in college. Like, I feel like one thing that I wish, like, I look back and I'm like, damn, I was so stressed out about things like boards and, doing the right number of things. The number of mental breakdowns I had at 3 a.m. over an exam that I was badly prepared for, insane. I would not be able to count them on all 10 fingers. And I look back and I realize that it's such a small part of your life. Like, even colleges are not going to look at one test that you messed up in and be like, oh, this is it. Like, we're going to write them off. That's not true. They see you as an all-encompassing figure that's got a great essay, that's got great extracurriculars, that's got this. Like, they're going to look at you holistically, and you need to trust that they will.
Okay, yes. And somebody asked, does the SAT consist of topics that one learns in high school, or does it have other concepts that you need to learn separately to do well in the test?
SAT is really just, at least the standard SAT is just English and math. So I think the math is actually maybe 9th or 10th grade level math, if not lower. The SAT is less of a hard thing than it is a time thing. The SAT goes by really quickly. So you're likely, if you were to sit down and work on it, a lot of them are really simple algebra questions. For instance, in math, it's literally 6 plus x is equal to 9, and that's it. But the problem is not the level of difficulty as much as it is the time, because you do only get like 25 minutes to answer 30 questions and stuff like that, which means that you're spending less than a minute on some of the questions. So time management, not difficulty. I can assure you that any 11th grader taking the test has learned those concepts in the past.
Yeah, okay. So also in the interest of time, let's like answer the questions quickly. Like, so what other universities or colleges did you apply to?
So I actually, like I said earlier, I fell in love with Wellesley, so I did the early decision there and I got in. So I did not have as extensive a list of colleges that I applied to as most people do. I got into Wellesley, which was great. I also did EA, which is early admissions. Most people do EAs to schools that are, safeties or whatever, or schools that those scores are okay and they don't need to necessarily improve themselves before the next set of applications. So I also applied to the UCs. So this is like UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, UC Davis, and Irvine, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, it's been so long. I can't really remember. I think I also did, for EA, I did UMass Amherst, I did Loyola Marymount, and I did Northeastern. Okay. And I was going to apply to more during the regular decision round, but I got into Wellesley, so I did not need to do that.
Okay, yeah, so timing is something, you need to get into a safety school so that okay, I'm guaranteed that I can go here, I have a spot here. And then you can do your dream colleges or other colleges that you're aiming for. Definitely.
Yeah.
And also somebody had asked, do you have any advice on Ivy League applications?
So I personally, again, because I only applied to these schools, I did not apply to Ivy League schools, but I have a lot of friends that did, a lot of very close friends that applied / are actually there right now. And I think it's just very similar to everything that I've outlined now. Like, their application is no different from the application you're doing now. End of the day, you should work as hard as you possibly can. And depending on how well that's translated into the stuff you've done, you'll get into the school you want to. But the thing about IVs is they're more unpredictable than most. So I've met people who've gotten into, for instance, gotten rejected from Yale, but gotten into Harvard, gotten rejected from Washington University, but gotten into UPenn. Like, it's very, very unpredictable, and it's hard to give definitive advice for certain types of colleges than, just all colleges in general. The thing is, just work hard, enjoy yourself, and know that no matter where you go, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's not always like, oh, like, don't feel really like don't let your self-esteem go down if you didn't get into like Harvard or Yale, because you did your best, and if you know that you tried your best, then it's about the journey, and you just have to be happy wherever you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't think there are any more questions. Oh wait, there's one last question.
Okay.
And we're gonna stop.
Okay.
What are some extracurriculars that you recommend trying out?
Okay, I think this is, again, very specific to each person. I think Indian high school has become synonymous with Model UN. I would definitely say try that out. It does not, I first went into it and I was like, oh, I'm outgoing and extroverted, so this is gonna be a breeze for me. I actually think I know more introverts in Model UN than I do know extroverts. So even if your kid's a little shy, that is okay. Try it out. I would definitely recommend that. I would recommend doing an art. So for instance, this could be music, it could be theater, it could be musical theater, it could be dance, something like that, or fine arts. Take up some, unless you're obviously not talented in those fields, which is totally understandable. I'm passably so that's okay. But definitely try dip your toes in something like that. I would say, okay, what else? Work on a project that you are passionate about, because now there's really no time that's better than the time you have now to work on a passion project. So this could be, if you feel very strongly about, I don't know, dogs, try working with an organization that helps stray dogs, or something like that. If you feel really strongly about mental health, reach out to a mental health organization that's already established, if you don't want to start your own thing. These things are, I think, a lot of the difficulty lies in getting into it rather than when you're actually in it. So kind of put those anxieties aside and just go towards a passion project. So yeah, I think those are the three. I'd say something in speech and debate, something in the arts, and a passion project. And obviously, if you want to do something academic, definitely do that too. So like summer courses, college courses online, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, yeah, that would help a lot. I hope that helped a lot of people. So we are over time, and so let's wrap up now. So thank you so much, Alekhya. I learned so much today, and it really cleared up things that I was unsure about, and I learned many new things today. And it really helped to learn from your experience and your journey and your insights and your advice for us. And I will certainly keep in mind your suggestions for whenever I apply to college. Thank you to everyone who joined in today as well. This wouldn't have been possible without you. I really appreciate all the support, and I will keep you all posted for the next talk. So thank you, Alekhya. You put in so much time and effort into this. I really appreciate it. And good luck in the future for you. And thank you, everybody who joined. Have a good night. See you in the next session.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. And I really do hope this was helpful, and I'm glad to hear that. So thank you again. Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, good night, everybody. See you. Bye.